Hi, everybody. This is Eileen with EileenGoesLean-VSG coming to you today on Tuesday, November 28th, 2017, for my week 43 post-op VSG update. If you are a new viewer, welcome to the channel, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Let's get right into it. So I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery on Tuesday, January 24th, 2017 at Roger Williams Medical Center in Providence, Rhode Island with Dr. Pohl. And I'm 43 weeks out, which is mind-boggling to me. 43 weeks out. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we'll get into the stats real quick. So as of today, this morning, Tuesday's weigh-in day. As of this morning, my weight I have lost since Halloween 2016, which was my all-time high. I have lost 145.6 pounds. And since surgery, it's, excuse me, 108.4, 108.4 pounds. And in the past week, I lost 1.4 pounds. This is the third week in a row that I've lost 1.4 pounds, and I'm happy to take it. I say thank you so much. Yes, and we had Thanksgiving last week, and so to have a loss the week of Thanksgiving, I am thrilled, actually thrilled with that. That's probably the first time in my life I've ever had Thanksgiving and not had a gain. Go figure. So anyway, so let's just, I don't have too much to say today. So I'm going to try to just make this a kind of a short video. Again, I don't really have that much to say. Things have been going along. I mentioned last week that for Thanksgiving we had been invited actually 3 different places where there would be constant food and drink and food and drink and all of that. And not to be the killjoy, but I knew that I didn't really want to be around that for a whole day. I just really can't do that at this point in my life. So my husband and I stayed home. I did a little visiting in the morning, and then I came home and I made us a filet roast. So filet mignon, a small little filet mignon roast. I made that for us with just some string beans and made him some rice. And that was our dinner. I had bought him a lemon meringue pie. I had my usual popsicles. And that was it. That was dinner. There were no hors d'oeuvres. There was no hoopla. That was our dinner, and it was fine. So that's really important for me to do that. That's what I need to do. So that was that. Yeah, so we got Thanksgiving okay. Also Sunday we had a family gathering. There was we had our whole family together. So minus one brother who lives very far away, but everyone else that lives on the East Coast was together for the first time in the 10 years. So my dad passed away 10 years ago. Actually, it was 10 years yesterday. So on Sunday, we had sort of a celebration memorial for him, and everyone came together, and it was really nice. But again, we had a big luncheon. There was food, there was cake, there was a lot of stuff. And I ate my usual stuff, and I did have a little bit of the cake, but just a couple of bites. And that was it. So got through that and still had a 1.4 pound loss for the week, which is great. The other thing that happened is someone that I know pretty well, his wife passed away, and so that was stressful and hard and sad. And but I was able to, and I'm still able to get through that without eating, which I think is really important and is a huge step for me. Because in the past I would have turned to food during, with my dad's anniversary, or, at Thanksgiving I would have eaten, or with this, this sad passing away story, I would have turned to food, and I have not done that. So I think that that's really good, and I'm happy, and I'm pleased that I am, relying on other things. And one of the things I'm relying on, you can see in the background, I don't know how to do this, but I'm pointing to a quilt. I'm going to hold it up in a minute, but actually this is a surprise quilt that I'm making for my husband. So if any of you watch this, and see my husband, don't tell him. But I got the idea from somebody else who does some stuff with sports things. But my husband is a huge Boston sports fan. So Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, and Patriots. And he's a huge, huge fan. And so I got this idea to make him a quilt for Christmas featuring those fabrics from the four teams. He's going to be so surprised and excited. And that's what I turn to when I am stressed or when I need some relief or when I want to feel better about things. That's what I turn to is my quilting or my knitting or my Reiki. I'm not turning to food, and that's my point. So, quilting for me, sitting at my sewing machine, which I'm actually sitting at my sewing machine right now. I have my computer on my sewing table where my machine is. Sitting in my sewing room at my sewing machine makes me happy. So I try to do it as often as I can. And I think it's important for us to have things that make us happy because what I learned this week is that you can get through occasions without eating, without gorging food. And life is short, and we need to not waste any time and savor every moment because in an instant everything can change. And so we have to spend time with the people we love doing the things we love. And I think that that's lessons learned this week. And I think the surgery has helped me learn those lessons. Um, so, anyway, I don't really have much else to say, and I'm less than 7 minutes, which is great. I don't really have much else to say. I'm continuing the job search. I'm continuing to eat like I always do. I'm continuing to do all the things I've been doing all along. It's continuing to work, so kind of why fix it if it's not broken? And again, I in this week of gratitude and all of that, I feel really grateful to have had the surgery. And if you're tuning in for the first time and you're thinking about surgery, oh boy, fasten your seatbelt and do it. It's a tool, but it is a very helpful tool. And if I did not have that tool, I wouldn't be where I am today. Um, we talk about. I've talked about Wonderland before. I can see Wonderland. I can see it. I can see it. Um, it's coming, and that's a place I haven't been in 38 years. So I see it coming. I feel it coming. It's happening, and that is just a huge, huge, huge success and a huge feeling of accomplishment and a huge feeling of satisfaction. I don't know how else to say it, contentment, peacefulness, that I know that right now I'm in the healthiest body that I've been in years. And it's about that. It's about health. It's about quality of life. It's clearly not about vanity or I would have lost the weight, 25, 38, whatever. I would have been thinner for years. It's not about the vanity. It's about feeling well. And that's where I am. And I'm so grateful that I had the surgery. And I'm grateful for this community because without the YouTube community, I probably wouldn't have had the surgery. Without listening to people's stories and hearing that it can be successful and not to be afraid, that's what I needed to hear. And I'm very grateful for that. With that, I'm going to just hold up the quilt and then I'm going to sign off just so you can see it. I've got 3 rows done. I need to do 7. So let's see if I can do this. So we've got Celtics, Old Patriots, oops, Bruins, Red Sox, and New Patriots are over here. And that's what we got going. And I love this. He's going to be so surprised. This is an attic windows quilt. This is not a video about quilting, but this is an attic windows quilt. And from a distance, it looks 3D, like you're looking through a window pane when you look at this. I'm excited. He's going to be really happy. He just came outside. He's going to be really happy, and this is something that brings me great joy. So I hope you all have a great week. I wish you all peace and love, and be good to yourselves, be good to one another, be kind, and I will be back at you next week. Bye bye.